Hello everyone, I am back with another video today. Today we are taking a little bit of a break from baking yesteryear. Um, I just wanted to make something that I could get a couple meals out of this week, with like leftovers and everything. And after looking at a couple different recipes and all of that, I decided that I was going to make the Johnny Machete out of the official Gilmore Girls cookbook. It's out of this cookbook right here. Um, I've made a few things out of this cookbook over the years since I've gotten it. Not too many. I have not made this one yet, but it sounds really good and I'm really looking forward to trying it. I love Gilmore Girls. It is one of my favorite shows, and I'm always really excited when they have a new Gilmore Girls cookbook out. I know there's a couple unofficial ones and a couple official ones. I actually have them all because I'm a huge Gilmore Girls fan and I love to cook. So, you know, they're perfect for me. But anyway, eventually we will be making some more recipes out of there if we ever finish baking yesteryear. It's definitely taking a lot longer than I thought, but it's been a fun journey. So anyway, the Johnny Machete was featured in season 3, episode 18 of Gilmore Girls. The episode was called Happy Birthday Baby. So on their Friday night dinner, at the beginning of this episode, Richard makes this childhood dish of his to serve at dinner. It was something that his grandmother would make for him whenever he had a bad day or was just feeling a little bit down. And she would make it for him to kind of cheer him up a little bit. Um, Emily really isn't thrilled about it, and initially she doesn't want to eat it, so she's only going to take 3 bites and then she's going to be done. And then I believe she gets like distracted or something and she's like, pass the Johnny Machete. It is a really cute, funny little bit at the beginning of that episode, or close to the beginning of that episode. If you have not seen it and don't quite get the reference or anything, definitely check that out. It's definitely worth watching. All of Gilmore Girls is definitely worth watching. Give it a chance. It does kind of grow on you after you watch it. You do become very attached to the characters. You kind of get used to them and the way they talk and their quirks and everything like that. So I do highly recommend watching that. But at least if you're not a fan, at least check out the Johnny Machete clip. Just so you can see the reference for the recipe that we are making today. I believe there's clips out there on YouTube and everything if you just want to check out that little bit of the episode and all of that. So now I am done rambling and let's get started. All right, so there is quite a bit that we are going to be needing for this casserole, but it is all, I'm hoping, all comes together really good and definitely worth the amount of stuff that we need. So first off, we've got some bow tie pasta here. This is a little bit less than what the recipe calls for. It called for a pound, and this is only 12 ounces, but it'll be fine. We've got some zucchini, a little bit of oil, some yellow squash, onion, red bell pepper, salt. In here I've got some smoked paprika and a little bit of pepper. We've got some milk, some mushroom soup. This is a can of chicken. The recipe called for canned tuna, but I really don't like fish and seafood, so I am substituting the chicken because I'll actually eat that versus the tuna and everything. I'm sure it's good with the tuna, and if you are somebody who likes tuna, go ahead and use that. But for me, I really don't like tuna, so I'm using chicken instead. We've got some crushed saltine crackers here and some butter, which we are going to melt right before we are ready to use it. So that is everything. I know it probably looks like a lot, but it is a casserole, and at one point in the episode, Emily says that it's like 12 different colors, which this will be a nice pretty looking casserole with all the different veggies in it. So let's get started. All right, so we're going to get started with our pasta. We're just going to cook that according to the box. So yeah, your basic boiling water and all of that good stuff. So I got my pot of water here. When that's boiling, I'm going to add the pasta. While I'm waiting on that, I am going to get started on cooking up our squashes. All right, so while my water is coming to a boil, I'm going to start cooking my zucchini. We're just going to saute this in batches in a single layer for a couple minutes till it's brown on both sides, and then we are going to transfer this to our greased casserole dish. I was able to get all of my zucchini in my pan here. That might be something, depending on the size of the zucchini you're using, you might need to do in batches. I know I'll have to do the yellow squash in batches because there is more of that. But that will be my next step after I get my zucchini done. Once I have all the squash sauteed and in the casserole dish, I will be back. All right, so my squash is done. I have that in the casserole pan. It is looking really good, really pretty already. I am starting the onions and the pepper now. Give me just a second and I will show you guys what that looks like. All right, so I have the red pepper and the onion and the salt in my pan here. We're just going to cook this up until the peppers are tender and the onions are translucent. And then we are going to add this to our casserole dish with the squash. My pasta is just about done. I am also going to get that drained and I will be back. All right, so all of my veggies are cooked and in my casserole dish. So we've got the zucchini, the yellow squash, a red bell pepper, and an onion in here. It looks fabulous. It smells really good. I can almost just eat this just like it is, but we're gonna finish this. My pasta is cooked and draining. I have that off to the side. Next, we are going to start our soup mixture. Okay, so I just wanted to pop in here. I did put all my veggies in a big bowl here. They are going to go into the pot with the soup mixture and the pasta and the chicken in a little bit. And just to make things a little bit easier for myself, I went ahead and transferred them to a bowl because that'll be easier to add to my pan. If you make this recipe, I would just transfer them to a big bowl as you cook them instead of the casserole dish and kind of save a step. It is an added dish, but I do feel like it is going to make things a little bit easier. I am going to finish getting the soup mixture started and I will show you guys what that looks like. All right, so in here we've got the soup, the milk, the smoked paprika, and the pepper. I'm going to get this all mixed together and heat it up until it has thickened a little bit, and then we are going to add the pasta to this. All right, so I've got the pasta added into the soup mixture. I'm going to add the veggies and the chicken into this and then put this back into my casserole dish. Once I have it in the casserole dish, I will show you guys what this looks like. All right, so we are almost done with our Johnny Machete casserole. I've got everything all mixed together. I've got it in my casserole dish here. I am going to mix up the topping really quick, which is the melted butter and the saltine crackers, and put this over the top. Once I have that ready to go, I will show you guys what it looks like. All right, so my casserole is ready to go in the oven. I mixed the melted butter and the saltine cracker crumbs together and then put that on top of the casserole. Let's get this in the oven and get it baking so we can give it a try. All right, so our casserole is done. It looks really good. It smells really good. I can't wait to dive into this. I am going to scoop out a bowl for myself and give it a try. After I am done eating, I will be back with my final thoughts. All right, so I am back with my final thoughts on the Johnny Machete casserole from the official Gilmore Girls cookbook. I thought it was great. I really liked it. It had a really good flavor. I liked all the vegetables in it. It is definitely something I will be making again, and I'm definitely going to be enjoying eating off of a couple times this week. I definitely recommend making this if you have this cookbook. Um, I would say it is a must for any Gilmore Girls fan out there, which, um, yeah, definitely make it. It definitely was really good. Richard Gilmore knows what he's doing, people. But anyway, um, yeah, fabulous, just really good flavor, really easy to make. The only thing that I would recommend doing if you guys make this is instead of transferring the vegetables into the casserole dish, just transfer them into like a big bowl or something as you're cooking it, since it all goes back into the pot anyway. It just makes it a little easier than trying to dump the contents, dump your casserole dish back into your pot and everything like that. But pretty simple. Other than that, it was pretty simple to make. It looks like a lot of ingredients, but it's really not. I guess I don't know. It's a lot of vegetables and everything, but it really does make it good. It gives it a really good flavor. So yeah, definitely give it a try. Next week, I will be back to baking yesteryear with the mock apple pie. Um, Please like this video if you liked it. Please share it if you think it's worth sharing. Please make sure you're subscribed. If you Please let me know down in the comments below if you have made this, what you thought of it, what you think of Gilmore Girls in general, or what you think of that episode or that section from that episode. Was the Johnny Machete always something you wanted to try after watching Gilmore Girls or that episode? And until next week, good times, good food. Bye.